Hi, this is ShamanWeaver Sheila Baker. Today I want to speak about beliefs. In an earlier podcast, I talked about beliefs and how to bust your bogus beliefs. And that began with, what do you want that you don't already have? Today, what I want to talk about is the belief in yourself. And you can also use the template that I offered in Bust Your Bogus Beliefs for this. Ultimately, the three things that we're challenged with in life are: am I lovable? Am I capable? And am I worthwhile? In an ideal situation, a child learns that they are lovable, they are capable, and they are worthwhile. However, along the way, this is what I've heard. I've heard that before we're 5 years old, we have already heard 65,000, yes, 65,000 no's. And most of those were actually for our own personal safety. Don't touch the fire. That's hot. Don't go there. And it goes on and on. So we begin very early on to doubt ourselves, which is the underpinning of lack of self-confidence. When you go to reach for something and someone tells you no, you pull back. You energetically pull back as well as physically pulling back. And often there's an emotional component to this where you pull back emotionally. So we have a no early on in our lives for safety. We pull back because we doubt that we've made the correct, the right movement, the right choice, and that ends up energetically being stuck in our body. Now, as kids, we're pretty resilient. We get told no, we run around a bit, and then we try it again. And then we get told no again. And pretty soon that no, let's say we're reaching for something that's hot. We get told hot, no, and then we pull back. When we begin to reach out for other things, that energetic pullback of reaching for something that's not safe, shall we say, then we pull back energetically. We pull back physically because our hand comes back. Energetically, we pull back because that locks into the cellular memory. So we have something that was set up for our own safety that energetically deters us from having what we want in life. And as children, if we're not taught in the beginning, the majority of children are given love and they're giving nourishment. Now, this isn't always so, but I'm going to go for the majority. So the majority of us, we get love, we get food, we're taught how to pick things up with our fingers, get them all the way into our mouths, to manipulate our body in ways that are gratifying. You know, we get to eat, we learn how to use the bathroom, we learn how social skills. These are all so that we can manage ourselves in the world and be part of a social collective. So we learn how to normalize ourselves to fit in to the collective whole. Don Miguel Ruiz speaks of this in terms of domestication. We are domesticated so that we learn the social norms. We don't go outside the social norms, well, not too far anyway. And we learn that this is where our value comes. Our value comes from fitting in. Our value comes from doing things that we get recognized for. You know, if you think about little kids, when they climb a stair, everyone is like, woo, yay, look at you, you did it. Those build the worth Oh, I'm worth something. I'm capable of something. However, those things begin to be also sometimes a deterrent because we look to get acknowledgement for something, and then when that acknowledgement doesn't happen, we don't have anything inside of us that says, oh, it doesn't matter if I'm not getting recognized outside. I've got it inside, because that takes a lot, it takes decades of practice to do that. You get accomplished at grade 1, and then you go to accomplished at grade 2, and then so on and so forth. So by the end of a couple of decades, you have a lot of social experience. You have a lot of exposure to these norms fit over here, but not over there. You learn discernment. You learn, oh, I'm capable of this. That begins to build an underlying belief in yourself and your judgment. However, things come along and we make choices that don't work out so well. And this is part of the normal growing up, normal adventuring in the world, seeing what works here and what doesn't work here, and how do I fit in, and where do I fit in, and perhaps even why do I fit in. Now, these things begin to build your own self-worth, your own self-value, your own belief in yourself, that you can make good judgments, that you do matter, that you are capable, you're worthwhile, and you're lovable. But what happens when things don't turn out so well? What happens when you make choices and there's more learning than there is in appreciating it? So let's say you make a choice and it doesn't work out the way that you envisioned it. And then we begin with the self-doubt. Oh, and we all take it personally straight away. For some reason, we don't seem to be capable of going, wait a minute, maybe this isn't about me, maybe this is a learning and I need to learn this thing here, or I want to learn this thing here, and then my judgment will be better. However, because we take things personally, and then we feel bad about the decision that we made. And then we go, oh, I made a mistake. And in that making a mistake, we have a little ding in our confidence, in our belief in ourselves. What if we learn and understand that a mistake, which is really what the word means, a mistake, you went to take something, but you missed it, wasn't right on target for what it was you were going for, that's a mistake. If you think about the movies, I don't know if they still do this, but they used to have this little board, that part of it hinged up and it came back down again. It would say, scene 2, take 84. And they would be taking 84 takes for one particular scene. But in the world out here, we think we have to get it right the first go. And because that's part of what we believe, when we don't get it right the first go, then we begin to doubt ourselves. We begin to lack confidence that we can actually make decisions that work out, rather than just going, you know what? This is just practice. All of life, I'm going to give you a huge tip here. All of life is just practice. And some things come easier and easier. You know, when you first popped out of the womb, you took this big gulp of air. A lot of people cry at that point, but that's learning to breathe. You didn't come out and go, I've got this covered. You had to take the initial breath. And after that, your lungs did what they were supposed to. Your nose did what it was supposed to. All the cells of your body went, oh, I know how to do this. But before that first inhalation, you didn't have any idea about that. So when you go to do something and you haven't done it before, to think that you're going to get it right the first time is perhaps limiting you in your ability to practice it. I'm going to practice this. And let's think about tennis for a second. That takes a lot of eye, hand, foot, body coordination. So in the beginning, are you going to be good at it? Heck no. You're going to have to practice. So the more you practice, the greater your belief in your ability to hit the ball becomes, because you've practiced. So here we are. We're going to do something, and we have this idea that we have to get it right the first time. So I'm going to offer you a suggestion that it's maybe not about getting it right the first time. It's just about taking the action towards getting it right, whatever right means to you, by your definition, whatever right is for you. If you see people cook things, not everyone cooks it exactly the same. You know, some people like it this way and some people like it that way. Some people don't like salt, some people don't like pepper. You can't know that in the first time that you create something. So allow yourself to create from a place of wonder and awe. Oh, I wonder what would happen if I did this thing here, as opposed to, I've got to get this right, so therefore I'm going to do this, and I hope it works out. So allow yourself some ease in all of this. Every time you do something and it gets a little better, allow that to bounce back to you, to come back to you, to build your self-confidence, your belief in yourself. And until you do that, allow someone else to hold that belief for you. You know, oftentimes in our history or herstory, what we have is a teacher who believed in us. Or maybe it was a coach, or maybe it was a pastor, or maybe it was whatever it was. There is most likely someone who believes in you a little more than you do at the present moment. So allow their belief in you to hold you up, to cozy you up, to stand behind you, if you will, so that you can do more, experience more, and discern, because it comes down to discernment. Does this thing work here? Does that work for me? And in what circumstances does it work for me? You know, using a shovel to take sugar out of a bag to put into my hummingbird feeder is probably not going to work. But if I have a spoon, or even better, if I have a scoop that measures it already, then I have the right tool. But until you use a few tools, intellectual, spiritual, physical, until you use them for a bit, you can't really know what's going to work. So allow yourself to practice. I don't use the word try, because to me, try means you're going to be unsuccessful. But if you practice something, then your rate of success increases. And as much as possible, I invite you to not put an idea on what it's going to look like and how you're going to do it. We so often get caught up in how's it going to happen that we don't even take the initial first step. So allow somebody, it might be your best friend, it might be your partner, it might be anybody. Allow them to believe in you until you can believe in yourself. And as you begin to think about this, wow, who believes in me? I'm betting you can go back and look, oh, this person believed in me, that person believed in me, and look at that. Because of their belief, I was able to do this thing here. So begin to build on other people's belief in yourself until you have enough that you can believe in yourself. And also, do yourself another huge favor and not believe that that belief in yourself for that is going to be carte blanche for believing in yourself in everything. I've written a couple of books. I needed guides, and so I asked for spirit guides to help me with that. You can ask for a spirit guide to help you in believing in yourself. And that's a big deal, because not very many of us really want to say, oh, I really don't believe in myself. We might say, oh, I don't know if I can do that. But in actuality, that was what you're saying. You're saying, oh, I don't know if I believe in myself. So allow a spirit guide, ask for one, a power animal, You might have a power animal that is right there for you, wanting to give you the confidence, the strength, the courage, so that you can, over and over, because this is part of what we do, we're human, we over and over need to prove it to ourselves that we can do something. So allow someone else to hold that energy for you until you have it for yourself. That can be a physical being, it can be a spirit being, it can be an angel, it can be a rock. I particularly like rocks because they're heavy and they're solid and they don't move around on their own. So I can ask this rock, this solid rock, to please hold the energy of belief in me until I can believe in myself. And you get to determine how many practices you need before you believe in yourself. And for some things it's easy, and some things it's more difficult. You know, if you go to make coffee, you probably can figure out how to make coffee. So now you believe in your ability to make coffee. Use super simple things in the beginning to give you this confidence. Don't make it big. Don't go for, I'm going to write a book, and until I write the book, I'm not going to be confident about that. Make it small. Write a page, and then reward yourself for that. Celebrate your accomplishments, which builds in your belief in yourself. And until you can fully believe in yourself, allow someone else to help you with that. Whether it's me through my services at ShamanWeaver.com, whether it's somebody from your past, whether it's a spirit guide, a rock, anything, a guardian angel, allow that to believe in you until you can. So blessings on your day, and thanks for tuning in. Aho.